We are back for Puck Drop at the Live at a Dollar podcast network, discussing the first game of the second round playoffs last night, Toronto and Florida. It was a crazy game. It started off pretty bad. Was it 3-1 at the end of the first? And then from there on, it kind of went 4-1. And then the Panthers clawed all the way back, 5-4 final score. Truly, it looked pretty dark in the beginning for the Panthers, but then they kind of picked it up. It was a good loss. I hate to say it. It was a good loss.
I'm with you. For the way we've played in the playoffs, and the season is probably our worst game that we played in the playoffs, and we only lost by 1 and almost came back and tied it, so I'm not worried at all. I know they had a little goalie switch-up, which we will talk about for Stolarz and Bennett, but I think there's a little miscues right there. Leafs are ready to go. They were buzzing right from the puck drop. I think Panthers got to make a few changes, but I'm excited for Game 2. It was an exciting game, and like you said, it was a good loss. I think it's fine. It's a 7-game series, guys. Long way to go.
In the terms of good loss, there's usually never a good loss when it's a 7-game series and, they're already up 1-0. But I like to say a series doesn't start until the away team wins a game, so we still, I still think there's plenty of time for the Panthers to certainly come back and kind of assert themselves in this series because they kind of got punched in the mouth. So let's get into that Stolarz hit.
So I've been looking all over social media. Obviously, everyone is going after Bennett.
Of course.
Biggest rat in the league, biggest rat team in the league, some people say. We are very rough. We bully teams. I understand that. But when it comes to this situation, I did a lot of research. I rewatched some of the game clips and replayed a lot of the game clips. The elbow to the head is not the reason why Stolarz was puking and had to get pulled up on a stretcher. First of all, I really hope Anthony Stolarz is okay. He's a Jersey native, okay, first New Jersey goalie in the NHL, and he was a former Panther and won the Stanley Cup. If there's someone we like on the Leafs, it's Stolarz. Also, just want to point out this. Toronto Maple Leafs can't win a cup and they can't get past the second round. So what do? They look at the best team in the league, and they took Lorentz, Ekman-Larsson, and Stolarz, all from the Panthers. I mean, 3 Panthers, almost like the whole roster they just took from us.
Basically. You might as well have just taken Barkov as well. But yeah, people don't want to talk about how 5 minutes before Stolarz took a 95-mile-an-hour slap shot off the dome.
To the dome.
It looked like the hit itself in slow motion, when you slow anything down, it's going to look like it's intentional and it's very dangerous. It was definitely just a logjam in front of a bunch of bodies in front of the net. It really looked almost accidental at that point.
Yeah.
He was just trying to get across, dragged an elbow across the back of his head. People want to say that's it. And it's like when you have the reputation that Sam Bennett does, people are just automatically going to assume bad guy, intentional, did it on purpose. And if it happened, like if Barkov, the same thing happened with Barkov where he did that, it'd be like, oh, it's just an accident.
No one would have said
there's just a
it's
jumble
because
in
it's
front of the
Bennett.
net.
It's 100%.
You have this
100%.
agenda. You have these grifters that are going to say, oh, the league is with the Panthers, and the refs don't call anything against the Panthers. The Panthers are bullies, which they are. It's bully ball out there, and I don't know. It's just a kind of an unfortunate turn of events. Obviously, like it sucks for Stolarz. Like I hope he's okay, former Panther. But to think that was obviously there was no suspension because it wasn't intentional from the league office. Yeah. It wasn't intentional.
Yeah, I think they saw the same thing we're seeing. Is he barely brushed his head? Like when you're playing hockey, like if you like your elbow's kind of always sticking out. You could have had a little bit of a chicken wing. But the way it hit his head, like when you see it in a normal play, like Stolarz, I don't even think honestly felt it. He could have. But the other thing I want to mention too, when you're taking, like if you had a concussion, which I've had many, when you take a hit like that to the head, like a puck, any slight hit to the head after can cause significant damage, which I think the hit from Bennett possibly, could have just tipped him over right there, and that was the final blow. And obviously when you're puking, that is really, really bad. But, I hope he's okay. But I think the Leafs now got to really worry about, a goaltending issue here because Wall came in and he was not a wall.
No.
It was water. Yeah. We were going right through it.
Yeah.
So they may have an issue there if Stolarz can't play tomorrow in Game 2.
This is what you get when you're playing the Toronto Maple Leafs. Their fans are grifters. They seek out things and say, oh, everybody's against Toronto. You guys have done this to yourselves.
Yeah.
These NHL media accounts that are just posting that elbow and not posting the 2 times you got a slap shot to the dome. 5 minutes
TSN,
before.
by the way.
And then they're also
worst network ever.
NHL BR Open Ice. I'm talking to you. I'm calling you out. You're trying to fucking grift content, posting that Matt Tkachuk where he's trying to go at Marner at the end of the game. What are you doing? You're only trying to perpetuate this agenda against the Panthers. This is playoff hockey, folks.
Playoffs.
This is the playoffs. These two teams don't like each other, okay? That's the bottom line. Let them go at each other. Obviously, not let them fight at the end of the game, but they're going to do that. It's going to happen. They're not going to be, oh, Matthew Tkachuk's a dirty rat. Obviously, he's going to do that. But to post about it and be like, look, guys, look what they're doing. Yeah, it's the playoffs. They're trying to get to the Stanley Cup Finals. This is bad blood. That's what it is. I don't know.
Just
People,
like in the
they
first
they like
series
to
with
say
Tampa.
that they don't officiate the games. It's like, I'd rather them not. I'd rather them officiate it less than over officiate.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And what did
Gotta
the Panthers have?
let
Like?
the boys play a little bit.
The Panthers had to go on the.
Anytime you have Tkachuk, Marchand, and Bennett on the ice, the refs got to ref the game a little different.
Yeah.
The Panthers had to go on the penalty kill like 8 times last night. And they're talking about how the refs don't penalize the Panthers.
Yeah, we actually have
Elite
we're in the
penalty.
box too much right now, to be honest.
You got a really good penalty kill, though.
We
Yeah,
do.
we do. E2 Saranen, beauty.
I don't know. It's like I want them to continue playing their game, and like that's kind of how they play, just physical, beat you
Yeah.
down, nasty forecheck hockey. And I just
It's a grueling
I don't
team to
know.
play
It's
against
like-
for sure.
it's becoming a point where it's like that's people are expecting that from us, and
Yeah.
it's like the refs are kind of like used to our style of play essentially. So it's like to the naked eye or someone essentially like a Toronto fan who's seeing this, and it's like they're attacking our guys. It's like no, that's just kind of our hockey brand, especially in the playoffs with this
How we
forecheck.
play.
I think I don't know. I'm gonna say it was a good game last night, good loss, but I'm gonna say Panthers in 6. That's
I
what I'm
like
gonna
it.
say.
Yeah, it's gonna go 6 or 7 for sure. I'm excited. Game 2 tomorrow should be really, really big. So we'll see how that goes, and got to get a dub. So speaking of round 2, we did do our predictions for round 1. I kind of wanted to go back and maybe recap round 1 here, if that's okay.
I picked Avalanche. It's okay. Avalanche are out. Mikko Rantanen, by the way, cold-blooded.
Cold. Oh my God.
That
we
was
got, wait, hold
absolute-
on. Let's talk about that really quick.
Absolute cinema of a
That
Game 7.
down 2-0, and you let the Stars come back, and not only is it just the Stars, it is only Rantanen did everything in that game to get a hat trick and send you home packing.
He also assisted the Wyatt Johnson.
He did.
Yeah.
But that play right there, they were keying on him so much. If you saw, he comes into the slot, does his little, he's about to rip it, and Wyatt John, you just see him on the corner on the other side. He makes an absolute dime, and bang. That was
He had. I think he was like asleep the first 4 games of the series. He had like
He
1
had
point or
4
2
points
points.
through the first 4 games, I think.
Did he? No,
Yeah.
I think he was asleep.
He woke
early.
up
I
a
think he had
demon,
11
a
points
demon,
in like the
a
last 3
demon
games.
Yeah,
woke
he had
up.
11 points in the last 3, but I think he had a point per game in the first 4.
Oh, did he? I
Yeah.
could be wrong. Nah.
But speaking of first round recap, I mean, we had the
Oh, yeah,
Jets
yeah.
winning. We didn't think it was going to go 7 games. The Blues definitely gave them a run for their money.
Yeah.
Connor Hellebuck was a little shaky in the first round, but they made it through, and that's all that matters. But now they're playing an insane steroid up Dallas Stars team.
Yeah, they're flying high. I don't know. Maybe this was what the Jets and Hellebuck needed, essentially, for like Hellebuck to lock in. Really, is like
Yeah.
they've always had that monkey on their back where they just can't get out of the first round. And now that they finally made it out, despite Hellebuck's very shaky performance in the first round, I think maybe that's what they need to go on a run. So this will be a really good series, I think.
For the
Yeah.
record, I was right about Randon.
What?
He had 1 point in the first 4 games of that series.
Oh, I thought he had 4
That's
points.
insane.
All right, well,
He had 11 in the last 3 games.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty nuts. Pretty
Yeah.
nuts.
All right, come on.
You're good. Vegas and Wild, we had that right as well. We said that the Minnesota Wild was an injury-prone team.
Yeah.
The good team just didn't have enough juice to beat Vegas. Vegas, very dangerous team. They moved on in 6 games. Then moving on to the next series, you had Edmonton and the Kings. I
Great
feel like that series could have went either way.
What's the name of the Kings coach that with that failed challenge that took him to the power play? That was the beginning of
He
the end for them.
killed them.
Killed him.
Yo, that was
Killed him. I mean,
they were winning that game. I can't believe they lost that game. That's
I
all it
mean,
takes, though,
to go
sometimes.
down 2-0.
You don't want to put Edmonton on the power play.
No, they're up there with I would say they're up there with Toronto on the power play. They're up there with the Cats on the power play.
And
They
Connor
have a
McDavid right now is
disgusting-
playing with FU
disgusting
hockey
power.
right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
That's how he's playing right now. FU hockey. He's like an angry guy on the ice right now.
He's kind of playing with house money right now. Nobody
Yeah.
right now to beat Vegas and then Dallas.
If they beat Vegas, I think they'll go to the
Insane.
cup
That's
again.
a
If
war.
they get past
Yeah.
Vegas, I think they'll go to the cup again.
So that was the West right there. I honestly, we picked Jets. We picked Golden Knights. I'm pretty sure we picked Edmonton, and
I
we
think
lost
we
on
lost
the
on
Avs.
Avs,
We
yeah.
were all on Avs there. It was just tough. The Stars are really good. I thought that was the best series from the West.
100%.
Moving on to the East. This first one right here, we said the Battle of Ontario between Toronto and Ottawa. I mean, what a series. Great job for Brady Tkachuk. Played his heart out. I think at the end of the day, Maple Leafs just more talented.
Leafs almost left the back door open there.
They did almost leave the back door open and pulled it almost
3-0, and
classic
then
Toronto.
just, they were finally able to lock in Game 6. I bet on them, of course, because I'm sharp.
Sharp.
But again, I think Ottawa could be a good team moving forward.
Yes,
I think
very
just
exciting stuff.
maybe one or two more pieces, and I think they could seriously be a real serious playoff contender.
Unless the Panthers take Brady, but
I don't know.
Yeah,
They'd have to give up so.
they'd have to give up a
Everybody.
whole lot. Yeah, they'd have to give up quite a bit. But a good fight. It was, I don't think the Leafs expected them to take them to 6 either. So I think they did their job in that sense. But now that we've got Leafs Panthers, it's going to be a great series. What's the other one?
yeah. Well, let me
What's
just
the other-
mention on Panthers and Tampa. Everyone had Tampa.
Oh yeah.
Almost every analyst,
Which is insane.
which is
by the way.
insane.
They had a great team on paper, but it was just not. I don't think they were physical enough.
But what about we're Stanley Cup defending champs? I mean, give
Oh,
us
yeah.
some respect.
Everyone came back.
I was like
Tkachuk,
shook. I was like,
Eichel,
you're
like-
telling me we're not going to take this to at least 6 or 7? They had us losing in like 5 games like this. We ended up beating them 4-1, and the first game in, we kicked their teeth in.
Yeah.
Teeth in.
Ekblad came what he had to do. He was a martyr for the cause. Scored,
Yep, big.
killed Hagel, and then dipped until next series. So
It's actually
It's a pretty accurate
it is.
description of
That
Ekblad.
was- that
I
was-
mean, they had
that was
another one
good.
that they took away for that minute and a half delay on that offside call. Remember that one?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
5 minutes went by and they called offsides.
scored
That was
right after that,
nuts.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
puck doesn't lie. So, Caps and Canadians. Again, happy for Canadians to make an amazing run towards the end of the season. Really
Yeah.
exciting for their fans there. They just ran into, Ovi and the Caps, first team in the East. It's just hard to beat them.
Very experienced player.
I mean,
Lot
and
of vets.
Ovi's hot
Lot of
right now.
vets.
He's doing like LeBron James stuff right now that's like not even humanly possible. So we
Strome,
picked
too.
that one though.
Strome's been unreal.
Yeah, and then we also picked Carolina again. Devils are just
I don't-
hurt, decimated.
Yeah.
They lost Luke Hughes in Game 1. After that, they just didn't have enough firepower. And Carolina is a team that just almost like the Panthers a little bit, maybe not as aggressive, but they just over and over and over. They're going into the zone so much fast. That overtime game, I was watching like the Devils had 1 shot on goal. No overtime. You're not going to
Yeah.
win off that. So I think we went 4-0 in the East, by the way. So 4-0 in the East, 3-1 in the West in the first round.
Yeah.
It's pretty sharp by the boys. And I'm excited to see some of the series here. So since we're still in the East, Capitals and Hurricanes playing today. What do you think about that series?
This is the thing. I think the Capitals are a well-oiled machine. They've been to the playoffs before, and Tom Wilson,
Menace.
he has been insane this season. 30
Nice
goals,
scores, too.
and he could change the game as soon as he's on the ice. The rest of the team's looking out for that guy. Dylan Strome has been unbelievable, making plays left and right. I think it's just it could be destiny for this team to get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
I just want to mention they're doing all this without Backstrom. People forget about he was the Dylan Strome of the team, and Dylan Strome stepped up. I mean, if he was back playing too, I would be very nervous because that guy can make passes without even looking to OV. I mean, and you Carlson too in the back, still playing strong.
Carlson's so underappreciated. Dude.
I mean, he's like the headman there. He's been there for so long.
Yeah.
So
I think the key in this
Stalwart.
series, though, you guys are going to talk about it, the goaltending.
yeah,
Freddie Anderson's hurt every other game.
yep.
I think he's coming back tonight. But Logan Thompson's kind of.
He's
Yeah.
kind of hot. Kind of not like that. He kind of he's been pretty unbelievable. He had a couple games against the Caps where he was lights
He's
out
had
in
some
that third
shaky
period.
starts,
But
It's I think it's
he
like
also
on,
got hurt in that
Yeah,
series.
yeah.
too.
I think it's on and off. So this is gonna be a tough one. I know Carolina really, really wants it bad. So I'm gonna say I want to take Caps so bad. I want to see Obi go far, but I gotta go Carolina in 7.
see, I think there's just a team of destiny here. I think I'm going to go Caps in 6 here.
That's what I want to see. I don't know.
We'll see.
All right, then again, back to the Panthers and Maple Leafs. I know Leafs already have the 1-0 lead, but I'm going Cats in 6.
I will follow suit with that. Cats in 6 as well.
I mean, come on, dog. All right, back to the West. This is a tough one. Jets and Stars. What do we got?
Stars in 5.
I'm gonna go
No-brainer.
I'm gonna go Stars in 6. They are just what we saw against Colorado.
They have so much juice now. They're absolutely flying out after
Not
that
only-
electric game.
and Ottinger's locked in.
Ottinger's amazing, but not only
Yeah.
that, they're gonna get Heiskanen back, and
Yeah, I think he's like game 2 or 3.
yeah,
he's
game 2 or
scheduled to
3.
come back.
Yeah.
Aren't they getting somebody else back?
Yeah, it's
Robertson. Yeah,
Robert.
yeah.
I mean,
Robertson.
Jason Robertson was
Two
their
of their
main.
best players.
Two of their best players coming back, and even Nathan McKinnon said it the other day. I mean, after the
Yeah.
game, like
I saw
like they're missing their 2 top players, so they're a dangerous team. And I don't know, like I like the Jets. They had a miracle in Game 7. I mean,
They
miracle.
struggled, though. They struggled.
I don't think people realize 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Miracle. They pulled what the Panthers pulled, but when that happens, I mean, when you have belief like that, dangerous things can happen. So I'm going to go Stars, but I'm going to go 7 for
Okay.
Stars.
All
And
right.
then last game here is Golden Knights and Edmonton. So tough.
Yeah. These two teams play each other all the time. I don't know. This is like the toughest one I think out of all the 4. I
Yeah,
think this is the toughest
100%.
one to pick. I guess I don't know. It'd be silly to bet against Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl on the season that they're having. So I think I'm gonna go Oilers in 7.
So for me, all it comes down to is goaltending, and I just don't think Edmonton has
They
the
don't have it, dude.
goaltending.
They don't have it.
It's the problem every year. So I got to go Vegas in 6.
I think they got very lucky last year with the tandem they had, and they have
Yeah.
the same tandem this year. But it's
I
first
agree.
Is Skinner gonna
the
start?
First 3, huh?
Is Skinner even gonna
I
start?
think so. The first 3.
No one else to put in.
Didn't Pickard start the last?
Yeah,
one?
Picker's
Yeah,
been started like the last
yeah.
3 games.
Yeah,
To me, it's like
when you have a problem like that, when you don't know who to play, if you remember,
you
like
have 2 goalies. You have
You have
9.
two goals.
when there was that one time where we had Bobbitt and then we started Spencer Knight,
Yeah.
I hated that. You got to have a guy in the playoffs that just play.
It's
He's
the
your
old
guy.
It's the old Mark Swayman.
Yeah.
After the last season.
That was like that whole series was kind of
Killed them.
clouded by the whole judgment of who's gonna play.
That's what I'm
Exactly.
saying.
And that's
It's-
all that
you
was ever
can't-
discussed and all that was talked
It gets
about.
guys
and got to
off
the
their
point where,
game.
yeah.
It's just not how you do it. So makes me a little nervous.
You
got to
go with who you've been going with.
Yeah. And I think
Unless
Vegas is a
you're
team
the
that's
Oilers.
solid.
I do like. I mean, I like the moves Edmonton made. Like they got a little bigger and stronger on the defensive end, but
Yeah, of course.
like
but
you said, goaltending is.
But yeah, I think you could get them over the line. It'll be tough series, bruising series, but I'm gonna go Oilers in 7 there.
yeah, but make sure you mark that 4-0 in the East, 3-1 in the West.
We
for
know
the
what we're
boys.
doing.
Round 1
And like
predictions.
you can't even knock us for that Avalanche Stars pick. That's like it was a toss up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I had
I mean,
Avs going all the way. I think.
I'm not gonna say I did, even though I did, but it's like that was by far either one of those teams they made it out could go on to win the Stanley Cup.
yeah.
So
I mean, that wraparound goal off of
Beauty.
Gerard's skate.
Beauty.
That's puck luck right there for you.
beauty. All right, well, that has been it for Puck Drop here at the Live at a Dollar Network. We will see you probably next week. No, you will see us next week.
We will.
Thanks for tuning in.
Make sure you guys follow us on all socials: Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. I don't know, every
YouTube.
social. Live at a Dollar, YouTube, Spotify. We are there.